Makarov. Makarov. However you want to call it. Makarov. The third guildmaster of Fairy Tail was on the island of Tenrou, waiting to bestow S-class, status on one of his, um, wizards and shit, right? But as he was waiting, he sensed, people coming. It was Grimoire Heart, and he saw them off the shore, and he was like, I have to protect my children and shit. And so he went into his giant form, and he was like, turn around now or I'll kill you all right now. With fairy law, that move he used against Jose. And then he was pulling that move out, and then some other guy that he knew stepped forward, Precht, or Hades as he went by now. And he defeated, he nullified the fairy law technique with his own move called Grimoire Law and negated his attack. So then he was fighting against Hades, but to no avail. He, ended up losing to Hades. And he was like, I don't understand why you became evil. You were the one who made me the guild master and everything else. And he was like, the true magic lies within the abyss, Makarov. You're kind of over there and doing other things. And he was like, well, my, students, my, wizards will not lose to your people. And he was right. But he was on the ground for a while, he actually had to help Natsu out during the Zankro fight. He held him down for a little bit with his hand, but his hand was getting burnt to a crisp. So he was like, oh, fuck. No, Natsu, because Natsu then, his magical power went to zero, and he was like, oh, fuck, he's done. But then Natsu just did that so he could absorb Zankro's flame, and then, Natsu ended up defeating Zankro. And, Makarov was like, you guys might need to get out of here. And he was like, no, we have to defend this island and shit, Makarov. This is our place, and they came here, fucking shit up. So we have to, remove them from the island. We don't have to leave. And he was like, you're right, just, defeat this guy and all of his people, and, I'll be there for you guys. And he was there, and he was like, I don't care if my people use dark magic, light magic, as long as it's used for good. That's the fairy tale way. You taught me that before you went down that hole of, headassery and weakness, Hades. And then he went, and then Agnologia came, and he tried to fight against Agnologia in his giant form, but, it wasn't enough, of course. But Makarov is still the guild master and shit. I'm putting respect on his name. People think I ain't, but his strength's at 89%. Speed, 87%. 87 for his durability, and an 86 for his endurance, 90 for his intelligence, and a 94 for his experience. At 87 for his close skills, and range skills are 90%. 85 for his recoup, and at 90 for his hacks. So his overall power score is at 88.5 for Makarov. Third guild master of Fairy Tail, and also one of the 10 Wounded Saints. But be cool in the corner.